In a world where most courtrooms echo with punishment and pain, one man stands apart. Judge Frank Caprio doesn't just serve justice, he serves humanity. This is not a story about laws or fines. It's a story about people, compassion, and second chances. Medina stands before the judge, nervous and exhausted. Her car has been booted, but that's not her only struggle. Through trembling words, she reveals she's homeless, moving from one relative's home to another, sometimes sleeping in her car. She's even being stalked, living every day in fear. Most judges would simply read the charges, but not Frank Caprio. He listens. He looks at her not as a case number, but as a human being in pain. Next, a man approaches the bench. His vehicle has been booted too, but for him, that car is more than transportation. It's his home. With 10 violations behind him, he stands before the judge, his voice filled with shame and desperation. He explains that he's recently found work again, trying to rebuild his life after being homeless. But now, without his car, he has nowhere to sleep. He doesn't beg for mercy, just for a payment plan, a chance to start over. And again, the judge listens with kindness in his eyes. Another motorist steps forward. He explains that he's on the autism spectrum, struggling with work and finances. He never finished school and has faced years of difficulty. Now he has just $5 left after paying for his car insurance. But even in hardship, he holds onto a fragile hope. He says softly, "I just started a new job this week." Those words touch everyone in the courtroom. It's not just a plea for help. It's the sound of someone trying to rebuild from nothing. The judge looks down at the paperwork. The total fine, $400. Then, with a gentle smile, he says $300 will be covered by the Filomena Fund, a fund named after my mother who believed in helping those in need. The room grows silent. The weight of his compassion fills the air. The motorist's eyes widen with disbelief and relief. For the first time in a long while, someone has given him hope. The judge adds softly, "You'll only owe $100. And if you can't pay that, come back to see me. We'll find a way." The courtroom doesn't feel like a courtroom anymore. It feels like a family. Moments later, another man stands before the judge. He explains that he works at a restaurant, and the only meal he eats each day is the one his job provides. Judge Caprio nods with empathy. "You've been honest with me," he says, "and honesty matters." Then he arranges for $50 in cash from the Filomena Fund, enough for the man to buy food for a few days. Tears fill his eyes. Gratitude replaces despair. It's not just money, it's dignity, compassion, and a reminder that someone still cares. But the kindness doesn't stop there. A musician sitting in the courtroom stands up and offers the man a free meal at his restaurant. The entire room smiles. The judge chuckles and says, "Looks like you're getting a feast tonight." He turns to the musician and thanks him for his generosity, and then he delivers a message that lingers long after the session ends. When life gives you a break, he says, pay it forward. Help someone else when you can. In that moment, the courtroom becomes more than a place of judgment. It becomes a place of hope. A place where compassion outweighs punishment and humanity takes center stage. This is the power of kindness. In just 6 minutes, one judge reminded the world that empathy is stronger than authority, and that one act of generosity can ripple far beyond the walls of a courtroom. Kindness costs nothing, but it changes everything.